finger on the recording button and get that started. And in a second, we'll turn it over. See, Brandon, you did A+. So folks, we're recording. There we go.
We ready to hit it? Hello, my name is Mr. Jay Brandis, and I am one of the librarians with Troy. This session is being recorded, so please do not say anything you do not want on the record. I'm joined today by Dr. Brandon Stewart and Dr. Leora Waldner from the Political Science Department. Dr. Stewart is going to keep an eye on chat for us, so if you have a question, he will pass those on to Dr. Waldner and me at the end of our demonstration. Today, we're going to spend a few minutes showing you how to access eBooks from the Troy Library, and we will hang out afterward to answer questions about eBooks. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Leora Waldner now, and she will show you how to use the library's discovery service to look for eBooks.
Thank you, Jay. And Jay is my hero because he's our amazing Troy Online librarian. And I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen so we can learn how to use eBooks in just a few easy steps. Jay, can you confirm that you can see my screen, please? Okay, good. I saw your mouth move. I'm going to take that as a yes. All right, so let's start from the very, very beginning. We're going to go to the intranet for us, which is my.troy.edu. We're going to start from the very beginning, and it's going to ask me to log into this. We're not logging into the library. We're just logging into the intranet. Great, it did it for me. So now we get to find the library. Let's scroll down until we see beep, beep. There it is, Eureka. Okay, we're going to click the libraries. That is the easy way of getting into the libraries, or you could just go directly into my.troy.edu/library/. You could, of course, bookmark this in your favorites as well, because it probably will be one of your favorites. So now we have found the magical library page. How do we find an ebook? That's what we're all waiting for. It is simple, folks. We are going to gently take our mouse and we are going to go into the ebook section. So see here, it says all. We're going to change it tonight to ebooks because that is exclusively what we're looking for. But of course, at another point, you might look for articles or journals or something else. Now, after I have moved this to ebooks and selected ebooks, I go to what the librarians call the discovery box. I call it the search thingy. Jay, don't tell anybody, but that is what I call it. So this term in my capstone class, my students are studying vaccine hesitancy. So let's just see if there happens to be any books about vaccine hesitancy or vaccination. We'll start here, right? Just type in your keyword and press search. Let's see what we come up with. La-di-da, it does take a second. So, oh, something very important just happened. Do you guys see this yellow banner up here? Jay, nod if you see it. Beautiful. All right, y'all. Y'all look for the evil yellow banner. Every time it comes up, I have to log in again. So make a game out of it, folks. This is nothing Troy can do anything about. It is just the database providers that require these constant logins. So, but when you see that yellow banner, folks, make sure to log in again, even if you just logged in a few minutes ago, because if you fail to log in, it will not show you the full text results. You'll click on this article or this ebook and it won't actually show it to you. So log in, log in, log in, log in, log in. All right, that's what we're going for tonight. Ooh, look at this. There's all kind of books on vaccinations. I scored. So now I'm just going to go find the one I want. This one looks pretty and it's the first one. So we're going to choose that one today. Yes, I am shallow. Okay, going here, we are going to, here's the ebook. Looks interesting. So I'm going to click View ebook. That's as simple as it is. And now I have a choice, a decision path. I can choose to read online, or I can choose to download the book. Let me make this a bit bigger so we can see it. Which one should I do? Well, I'm a simple person. I don't like things that are complex, so I want to read online. I am not going to choose to download the book because depending on the database, it might send me into a rabbit hole where I either have to get some special software like Adobe Digital Editions, or I may have to actually create a whole new account for whether it's EBSCOhost or whichever one it is. But I know if I just do read online, nice and simple for this simple gal. There it is, folks. So I can go down and let's say I want to learn something about flu vaccines. and I can start reading the book. All right, usually it's a little bit faster than this. So again, backing up, I went into my.troy.edu. I found the library picture and I clicked it. I came into the magic library page. I switched it to eBooks, from all to eBooks. I went into the fancy search box and typed in my term, whether it's vaccine or vaccine hesitancy or whatever you wish. It brought me to the results list and asked me to sign in. Make sure to look for that yellow banner. I signed in, and now I have my book. Woo, success. Now, I know you want a deeper look at it than that, and you probably want to hear a little more about the rabbit hole. So Jay, I turn it over to you now.
Look, I unmuted. I knew to unmute. And I'm going to share my screen. Maybe not the right one. Let me try that again.
It's thinking about it.
Oh, that was definitely not the right one. I want wiggle, wiggle. Well, that's very strange.
While Jay looks for his share screen, y'all remember you can type in questions into the chat box. So hit Brandon up with keep him busy at his job. Type in a couple questions while Jay looks at search the screen. India,
Okay.
I see you there. I want you to have a question. There we go, Jay. Woo!
Okay. Well, I'm going to move my notes over. Hang on. Because now you can see all my notes. I'm going to put those on the screen, a different screen, and I'm going to maximize this. Okay. I'm at the library homepage. And what I'm going to show you is searching an individual ebook database. What I'm going to do is click here on databases by subject and alphabetically. And when I click that, it brings me to an A to Z list of all 150 or so databases that we have. Now, if you don't know which one you want by name, which you probably don't, you can click here and select electronic books, and that's going to show you all the electronic book databases that we get. So the thing Dr. Waldner showed you was Discovery Search. It's pulling in listings from all of these different individual databases. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you searching one individual one and point out some things about using individual ebook databases. I'm going to click on this one, ProQuest eBook Central. It would ask me to log in, except I'm already logged in. And I did a search in here on baking. And I'm going to take a look at this second one here, The Great Scandinavian Baking Book. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Haha, I already have my tabs up. Now I want to point out some things about this ebook, which may vary from other ebooks. On this ebook, it says, your institution has unlimited access to this book. Not every book has unlimited access. It's different than journal articles where anybody can come in and just keep looking and downloading and saving. There are, and I know this sounds a little strange because it's electronic, but there may be a limited number of ebooks. So it might be that there's only 1, 2, 3 copies. There may be 20 copies. So if you're a faculty member, and I know we have some with us today, let's say you're thinking about using a book for in your class, a required reading. If there's unlimited access, hey, that's fine. But if there's only 1 or 3 copies, you might want to contact the library and talk to them about using it in your class. Other things you can do with this book, it says download PDF chapter, but in even smaller print, it says get up to 132 pages. Use any PDF software, does not expire, meaning you can keep that chapter forever. And so each chapter you see, you can download each individual chapter, but you can't download every chapter forever. They don't want you keeping the whole book forever and sharing it. The publishers work with the database companies and they limit access. They don't, they license it in certain ways, and those ways differ by database, and they even differ by book within the each database. So with this book, if I want to, I can download the entire book, but I can't keep it forever. If I want to download the individual book, I click on download book. Let me see if I've timed out or if it's going to let me do it. La 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 la. Let me go from scratch. ProQuest ebook, sign in. I search on baking. I come to the Great Scandinavian Baking Book. I tell it I want to download the book. It says, you on your own computer? Yep. Now here's the extra bit Dr. Waldner talked about. With a lot of the ebooks, because they want to keep control of it and know how long you've got it, they want you to have this software, and it's free, Adobe Digital Editions. I've got it on my computer. So I say I'm done and I want to download my book, and I count to a few seconds and open the file, and it opens my Adobe Digital Editions. Boom, there's the book. The whole thing's on my computer, and I've got this one for 21 days. Not every book goes out for 21 days. It might be 1 day, it might be 7 days. You might have an option of how many days. So I showed you looking at an individual ebook database. Oh, I know what I didn't show you. At the top of that electronic books menu is a link to our ebook libguide. And what that libguide does, here it is, it tells you more detail. It tells you about all of the different ebook databases we have. It tells you how can you download, can I print? So all the little details of how they all work differently. I'm on a time clock, so I am going to turn it over to our attendees now, and you can unmute and speak out loud, or you can type questions into the chat box, and Dr. Stewart will relay them to Dr. Waldner and me.
Thank you, Jay. What questions do we have out there about the marvelous world of ebooks? I see Shakita typing. And Kay has a question. Kay, go ahead, unmute and ask.
Okay, my question is with the Adobe Digital Editions, when you have a book for like 7 days, 21 days, what do you do when you have passages or you mark up? What happens to your markups? Because I'm doing my PhD, so we do a lot of research. And when you want to use citations and things like that, and then boom, your book's gone.
I have no idea. I've never marked anything up in Adobe Digital Editions. Wow. So mark things up. I don't know. I assume that it all goes away.
That's what I was afraid of. And so I found an alternate way to get what I needed for what we're doing currently, because I was afraid of that. I was afraid that, it's just like the library. You don't write in a book that you check out from the library. I didn't want to write in the digital edition because it would be all gone.
I would, if it allows you to, I would download each of those individual chapters as a PDF and keep them in a folder and comprise your book. If for some reason you couldn't download each section either as a PDF or as an HTML, you can always take a screenshot.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I didn't think about a screenshot. Thank you, Jay.
Okay, you could also use OneNote, which is free for everybody. Actually, students and faculty and staff alike can get the whole Office 365 suite for free from Troy University. If you need information, you can contact us. OneNote is part of that, and you can use the OneNote clipper to grab whatever you see on your screen and put it into your OneNote research folder. So yeah, feel free to get in touch with me and I can send you just a little bit of information. It's worth trying. Other questions for Jay?
I have questions.
Yes,
I have questions
sir.
because Dr. Waldner collected them on the way in. I'm not sure if this is from our attendees, but I'll answer them anyhow. A lot of it wasn't so much a question, but a lot of the wording said that people wanted to find out about free ebooks. Well, they're free for you to look at, but these aren't things that are just out available for anyone for unlimited time, as we've pointed out. So the library subscribes to these databases, but as we know, the publishers are for-profit companies. That's why they're not just there to wing around. So the word free caught my eye, so I thought I would address this. A second item was, it said, how can I asked the library to get an ebook? And I didn't quite know what that meant, but it's something good to address, especially I know we have faculty here. You can ask us for a particular book. Like you might say, hey, I want to use such and such a book. Can you get this electronically? Rarely can we get textbooks, but sometimes instructors use it's just a book and I want to use it for in my class as a textbook, and sometimes those are more likely to be able to get a hold of. You can email me, just email the library, look for your subject specialist librarian in the library staff directory and say, hi, I'm Professor so-and-so, can you get me this as an ebook? And we'll find out if we can get it technologically and what it might cost, and we'll go from there. A third question that came in over the early line was, do you have fiction reading? No, it's almost always nonfiction, some academic, some popular reading, but not really popular fiction titles. That, even though the technology is there, that seems to be a resource that the database companies offer to public libraries, but not to college libraries. So fiction reading, I hate to say no, but the answer is no, that's not in there.
Thank you, Jay. And we are at 15 minutes. We promised you a little skills class in 15 minutes, and we're trying to deliver that. So we are almost at the close. Maybe take one more question. And you guys will be very excited to hear this news. Dr. Brandon Stewart will be holding another mini skills class. Brandon, can you give me the date on how to find a peer-reviewed journal article? Brandon, tell us the date, please.
Yes, it will be Monday, May 3rd. And it will be at the same time that this presentation was. So 7, sorry, I'm in Eastern time. It'll be Monday, May 3rd.
Wonderful, thank you. There
yes,
is one
absolutely.
more question coming in, and I see one from Chiquita, and then we will go at. Okay, good. Chiquita came because she wanted to know the peer-reviewed journal article. So Dr. Stewart's going to tell us all about that at the next webinar. Connor Wu, Dr. Wu is asking, can our ebooks be shared with other non-Troy people? Jay, I would hesitate to guess, so I'm going to go turn that question over to you, and that'll be our final question for tonight.
Yeah, the answer is no. They're locked in there. So they're only for the individual user with the Troy credentials.
Okay.
They're very stingy on who gets to see what.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. You'll see that I've put a very quick feedback link in the chat box if folks want to quick and take it. This is the first kind of library webinar we've done system-wide, so please feel free to give us feedback and tell us what you'd like to see in the future. And we're going to go ahead and stop the recording, but we do want to thank everybody for coming, and also stick around in case you have more ebook questions that we haven't answered yet. Jay, I'm going to turn the recording off, and I'll be quiet and turn it over to you.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question.